Good Monday Matters. And yes, it's Sunday. It meant to be Sunday morning, but it's Sunday evening, and it's best I can do. Sorry. Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, a great Sabbath today, and are looking forward to a great week. I decided to do Monday Matters today because today is January 1st, New Year's Day, and I want to share with you some things I've been talking about. So a challenge to kind of join in for Monday and actually beginning today, going through the month, and so I thought it'd be good to share it today rather than Monday. By way of a disclosure, I preached this morning at our church. It's always a privilege to do that, and our pastor is always gracious to ask me to speak. And today I spoke. And since it was New Year's Day and the first day of the year and a Sunday and all of those things, I spoke on being all in, but I used as the text Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you as well. And I won't go into the details. If you want to see it, you're welcome to go look at it at familywc.com. That's the church website. But the idea is seek first the kingdom of God. And so what I challenged you, and actually I wrote a blog this morning as well. I have a friend, David Robertson, who suggested this kind of basic outline. I added to it a little bit, and I think it's a good one. Begin the first hour of every day with God. Give God the first hour of every day. And I called that silence. Take some time for silence. Might not be an hour, it might be 30 minutes, but take some time to be quiet before God. The second thing he said was begin the first day of every week with God. And that's the Sabbath. Be committed this year to the church and to being engaged and being involved and experiencing God in new ways. And I so called that the Sabbath, silent Sabbath. The third thing that David suggested, and I kind of added to, begin the first month of every year, or take the first month of every year and give that to God. And I called that sacrifice. And we're going to talk about some things that we can do this month to be more disciplined, more dedicated, to just give this month to God. And then finally, I added, give the first fruits of every harvest to God. And we call that stewardship. So silence, Sabbath, sacrifice, and stewardship. Those four things to give to God. And we begin that by putting some disciplines in our life, by putting some things in place that perhaps are not the norm for us. And as I said in the message today, I said I'm not going to preach the message, but as I said in the message, we do not do these things to be righteous. We are made righteous by God, but we do these things as a demonstration of that righteousness. And as I do them, I'm reminded more and more of how God has made me righteous. I don't do these things to make me a better person. I do these things to remember that God has made me a better person. So 5 things I'm challenging you to do. I'm calling it all in, and I invite you to be a part, to join in with this. It's stuff we do every year. This year it's 31 days instead of 40. A lot of times I do 40 days, but 31 days, the month of January. You still have time. Start tonight. If you don't watch this until tomorrow, then we give you a day's grace. You can make it up somewhere along the way. Read the Bible every day. Now, what I encourage you to do is read through the Bible this year. I really invite you to read through the Bible this year. I use different helps in doing that. And this year I've chose again, I've used this in the past, the Daily Audio Bible. Brian, I need to know Brian's last name. I'll figure it out. But Brian he has for 18 years now, the Daily Audio Bible. He reads through the Bible every day. You follow a couple of chapters in the Old Testament, a chapter or two in the New Testament, a Psalm, and then part of the Proverbs. You read through that every day. And at the end of the year, you've read through in a year. So I encourage you to go online. Look, if you haven't done this, download dailyaudiobible.com or go to dailyaudiobible.com, download the app, and then there's 4 or 5 different possibilities, but just choose the one that says Daily Bible Reading and begin listening to Brian and reading through. Just another note on that. I've said this over and over again, but I'll say it one more time. I like to take a Bible and mark it up for somebody in particular. I've done my children. I'm on my last grandchild now. I've got Amos's Bible going now. Just mark it all year long. What a great gift at the end of the year to give them this Bible and say, I marked this all year with you in mind. I wrote little notes. Read through the Bible. That's number one. Begin reading the Bible. Again, I encourage you to do it all year long, but if you do it just for 31 days, you're way ahead. Second thing, join us for a 31-day daily Bible study, a daily Bible study. I chose this year from the YouVersion group, I chose a Bible study called All In. It's about fasting, but it's really just about comes out of Acts 2:42, and they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, the fellowship, breaking bread, and prayer, giving ourselves to those things. So go to YouVersion of the Bible. You go to YouVersion.com, download the YouVersion app, then go to Plans, and then go to All In. And join us. Now, if you don't do that today, tomorrow you're going to be on day 2, so you got to go back and listen today. It takes about 7 or 8 minutes to do that whole thing, and it's well worth it. So All In. Do a daily Bible study. Read the Bible every day. Do a 31-day daily Bible study. Third thing, begin praying 3 times a day. I am on branchesblog.com. I've written some prayers, the daily prayers. I'm going to try to post something every day to encourage you to do this. But begin praying every day. And I encourage you something a little bit different, to pray 3 times a day for the next 31 days, 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. And just make that a discipline and see what happens at the end of the month. If you spent 1 month praying 3 times a day. So we're going to read through the Bible. We're going to do a daily Bible study. We're going to pray 3 times a day. We're going to fast together. Fast, and we'll not start the fast until our church is doing this, and so we're just kind of plugging in. January the 8th and fast to January 28th. That's a 21-day fast. And before we get there, we'll talk about how to fast and what that means. You may fast, you may give up all food for 21 days. I'd probably advise you not to do that, but you might fast 1 meal. You might give up pop. You might fast television. I don't know. You might pick something to fast. But join in a 21-day fast, beginning January 8th, going to January 21st. So these 4 things: read through the Bible, or read the Bible every day. And again, I'd encourage you to do this all year, but for now, 31 days. Do a 31-day Bible study, All In at YouVersion. Begin praying 3 times a day, and then join us for a fast. Here's number 5. Number 5 is journal. Ask God every day, God, show me one thing today to let me know that you love me and that you're working in my life. And then write a little note about that, just a sentence or 2. But at the end of every day, take just a moment and write, God, here's what you did for me today. I just thank you so much. I found a parking spot right up front of Walmart, and thanks for doing that. Or I had an opportunity to share Jesus with somebody at work. Just journal. By the way, I say often, if it ain't written, it ain't done. Do it on paper and pencil. Just buy a cheap little spiral-bound notebook and write every day. You might write a sentence or 2 in the morning or a sentence or 2 in the evening. So we're going to do 5 things to be all in. And I encourage you to join. Send some emails, send some text, post on Facebook, talk about this, invite friends to do this. What a difference it would make if we get a bunch of people to go all in. Here's what we're going to do. Begin reading through the Bible, daily audio Bible for that. Do a 31-day Bible study. All In is a Bible study plan from the YouVersion of the Bible. Begin praying 3 times a day. You can go to Branch's blog, get more information about that. Join us for a 21-day fast beginning next Sunday, January the 8th. And then journal. Just write a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening. We're going to be all in. It's going to be great. God's going to do great things in your life and in my life. And I'm excited to hear more about that. Thanks for being a part of this. Every day I post something on Facebook and Instagram that just kind of remind you of this. I'm going to try to begin blogging again every Friday and hopefully get back to doing podcasts. That just takes a little longer than other things. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the contribution you made to my life. And hopefully this year together, we can be happier, healthier, and holier and go all in. God bless you. Have a great rest of the day.